Actually, I had for doing kind of a bit of a discussion thing here. I had a music one here that was a question more about concerts.
Oh.
Concerts for a minute.
Yeah.
This comes in from High Definition Dabnado, and he says, "Dear Doctor's Desert Bus, for $10, I recently went to my first ever concert. I went to a Guitar Wolf concert in the Twin Cities.
Holy moly.
Much respect, HD Dabnado. Those concerts are amazing and have some pretty fun memories of it. Could everybody in the room, if they're up for it, discuss the stories of their first concerts or very early concert that you went to? There's one that's memorable.
First,
Mine?
Go ahead.
I was going to get it out of the way because mine is lame. I made a joke yesterday. It was Amy Grant, Michael W. Smith, double feature.
Yeah.
I never lived it down. Bury me in a shallow field.
That was your first show.
Yeah. There was a real one later, but yeah.
How old were you? Do you remember?
10.
Okay.
I did sing along to El Shaddai. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I won my first ever concert tickets in. I was working at a bar and Molson was giving away tickets to Matthew Good Band. And I just opened up a case of beer, bar backing, and I just took those tickets. And I did not discuss it with anyone, and I just put them in my pocket.
Solid call.
My first one was Fred Penner of the Cat Came Back fame on a school trip.
My profile picture is me and Fred Petter.
Yeah.
There you go.
What was the encore?
I think it was the Cat Came Back, and I think like he played it twice, and there was this giant inflatable like orange cat that was on the stage. But my actual first like for realsy concert was surprising no one, Avril Lavigne.
Yep.
Knew it.
Yeah.
Depending on how you count it, my first one was either Canadian Legends Econoline Crush at the Regina Agribition, our sad little answer to the Calgary Stampede, or Tool on the Lateralis tour. Because I mostly grew up in smaller towns where they didn't really have concerts. There wasn't anybody to go see. So it wasn't until I moved from Prince Edward Island to Ottawa when I was like 18 or 19 that concerts finally became a thing for me, and I bought like 20 tickets the week that I moved there. I went to every show.
First concert was 1996 Weird Al Yankovic at the acoustically perfect Winsteer Center the day before I went off on my Japanese exchange.
Dang.
First real band concert was the Guess Who's Running Back Through Canada tour with Joe Cocker as the opener, and that was a solid performance.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds amazing.
And because we're talking about music, we have managed to summon
I
Kathleen.
just happened.
Whoa.
I heard the vibes.
Yeah.
I think my first concert was at the Prince George Roller-Dome, and I was seeing Canadian Legends Gob.
Yo.
So
Yeah, they're coming back.
I know it's kind of tempting, isn't it?
So I was like, so it's for Sum 41's farewell tour with Pop, which is one of my favorite bands of all time, and of course Gob because they're playing in BC.
Yeah.
The tickets are like $300.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I was like,
To see Gob.
to see Gob, yeah.
I think even they would say that.
Yeah, which is normally like $7.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Gob does like openers for like any punk band in Canada, honestly.
yeah.
But yeah,
But they used to do like tiny shows in suburban Vancouver.
yeah.
Yeah. Pat Meehan will probably go to that one with you regardless of the price. He's a huge Gob fan.
I don't know. Maybe tickets are $300 because we're financing a nice retirement.
Yeah. I mean, Sum 41's probably doesn't have enough money at this point.
I cannot help but feel like that's exactly what's happening. It's just like Spotify has absolutely destroyed residuals for musicians.
Potentially.
So now everybody who was popular when we were 20 is like, wait, we only get one more shot at this, and we have to make enough money to stay afloat for the next while. So everybody's doing their like farewell tour, reunion tour, Sick New World.
Which is honestly great because like I've hit the point with a lot of concerts where I don't want to go see some band's latest album tour a lot of the time. I mean, sometimes they're great, but I've found that, you know, a lot of new albums have been kind of medium for bands that I enjoy. I want to see everybody's farewell tour. But I don't know if I want a $300 see Sum 41's farewell tour.
It wasn't a farewell tour, but the recent Porter Robinson show that I went to in Vancouver, and I think Jordan and Chris went to in Seattle, I loved because it was like a career-spanning tour.
Yeah.
It had like full sections of it, so he went through his entire discography going all the way back, which is great.
I just recently saw the Killers do their Hot Fuzz 20th anniversary tour, which, I don't like that.
I don't like it either because I saw them twice on the original version of that tour.
I have never met someone who I'm really happy that you're a famous musician, but you really should be, like, in a very small town, ripping people off selling, like, secondhand cars. That man is meant to be a used car salesman, and he accidentally ended up a musician. He has that, like, perfect level of sleaze. I fell in love in that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking sleaze.
Yeah.
So, my first concert, this is not the sleazy one. My first ever concert was my parents took me to see Captain Tractor in Edmonton, where we saw them at Folk Fest, playing Last Saskatchewan Pirate, amongst other things. Funny story too that actually the mandolin player later was my lighting teacher in post-secondary.
Oh, no way.
yeah. But Sleaze, first concert I ever personally bought tickets to as a youth, Mindless Self-Indulgence.
When I mentioned I bought 20 tickets as soon as I moved to Ottawa, one of them was MSI.
Yeah. Yeah, music that has not aged well.
It was a fun show, though.
Oh yeah. It was them, and they were the Birthday Massacre opened for them. It was a fun show.
I saw them on that tour as well.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, Alex Stacey might have come over to Vancouver for that one.
Oh, maybe.
I think it was at the Croatian Cultural Center.
Yeah.
But I definitely went to that one.
The Croatian Cultural Center is low-key such a good venue in
Yup.
Vancouver. If you're not familiar, it's a big hall owned by the Croatian Cultural Community Association or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they rent it out, and they will rent it out to all sorts of bands that could not afford to rent a similar-sized venue.
Yep. And also, it's because it doesn't have its own bar, it's often all ages as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I saw the co-headlining Panic at the Disco and Dresden Dolls tour there, which was hilarious because the majority of the audience is this high, except for these, like, little clumps of tall goths, like, scattered throughout it. You could very much tell who was here for which band.
Yeah.
The venue that a lot of people or a lot of bands would try and book in Edmonton, or not try, but a lot of bands would book is a place called Ed's Rec Room that's like connected to West Edmonton Mall. And in the middle of the main like hall stage, there are several like big pillars that are like actual structural support. And I remember going to see NoFX there, and people were just climbing the pillars and backflipping into the pits and stuff like that. And then NoFX, being NoFX at the time, was like, "Yeah, that's awesome," and like endorsing people to go do that. And yeah,
I saw My Chem on their most recent tour, and it was very, very funny because my at the time boyfriend was the one who bought the tickets. And I was it was one of those things where I was like, I want to spend this much money, and this is my cap. And he was like, this is a very important concert for you. I am going to go over and above. So I was like, I want to spend $150 per ticket maximum. So he got $1,000 each tickets for the floor seats.
cheapers.
And so when we broke up before the concert, we were doing the breakup, like, you keep the dog, you keep that. I was like, you keep the mattress, I'm taking the My Chem ticket.
Priorities, baby.
Nice.
And they played my favorite song, and it was the only show on the tour that they played my favorite. So,
What song?
Vampire Money.
Yeah, nice.
I think I've told the story on Desert Bus before, and I try to tell it every time Andrew's in the room.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite concert experience of all time was at a Caravan Palace show.
Yes, go on.
Where there was an old venue in Edmonton that is definitely gone called the Pawn Shop. and it was like this old building and the concert venue portion was on the second floor of it. And I remember going to see them, and where everyone's like packed in like sardines around this like little stage, and it being Caravan Palace and Electro Swing, everybody's kind of like bouncing up and down.
Yeah, in perfect 4/4 time.
Yeah, you could feel the floor bending.
Oh, yeah.
Underneath us,
Yeah.
it was trampoline-esque. I swear, I got double bounced off of hardwood floor. Like. It was unreal. And I just remember looking at my friend and being like, if this is how we're going,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
It's like the sprung floor at the Commodore Ballroom.
Yeah.
Which
So
just
nice.
like pulses when you get a big show going.
Yeah, but that was during, I think, like the
Yeah.
for their like second album, which is one of their best ones. So.
I do want to note though, because of our ongoing, somewhat joking, somewhat serious ongoing Electro feud. That Caravan Palace is playing Vancouver at some point soon.
You texted
and I
me.
invited Ben.
Yes.
And said I would go. And I said I would go with him.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely considered it. I mean, much like the conversation we were having earlier, I'm not huge on their newest album.
Yeah.
It's pretty whatever.
Yeah.
But again, so that was the reason that I didn't go to Porter, was because I also didn't like his newest album very much.
Yeah.
And I think I gotta stop doing that because they're gonna play other music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than stuff.
The big cheats is setlist.fm.
Sure.
Just take a look at what the set list was earlier on in the tour. It'll
Yeah.
give you a good sense of what they're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, most bands learn like 30 songs probably for a tour. So
Yeah. I have a question actually to the showgoers here and stuff. Do you like it when the band stops and has like conversations and jokes, or would you prefer them to just play?
Depends on the band.
Okay.
Generally, I like banter, but one of my favorite things about Explosions in the Sky is that their banter consists of coming out on stage at the beginning, going, "Hi, we're Explosions in the Sky. We're from West Texas." And then proceeding to absolutely demolish the place for 90 plus minutes uninterrupted. And then they come back up to the mic and go, "Thank you." And leave.
Yeah.
No encore, no nothing. Like they're just very quiet, very friendly people, and they make incredible post rock.
can I?
Kathleen, yeah.
I have a good rock and roll banter story. So the last concert I went to was the big King Gizzard show in the Gorge, and I saw something. Thank God I was not in there to see it. That I've never seen happen before at any concert I've ever been to before. And I've been to big concerts and little concerts. The barrier broke.
No
The mosh pit went so hard the barrier broke.
I've never seen that.
So they had to stop the concert, obviously.
Yeah.
If you have never been in a mosh pit and you're not familiar with what it is, it's basically like it's a very heavily reinforced barrier that's about 10 feet back from the stage, so like people don't get literally crushed to death against an immovable wall. There's equipment there, camera people, like it's there for
Security.
safety. Yeah. Anyhow, so the barrier breaks. They got to stop the whole show. What camera is on me all of a sudden?
Kevin.
Oh, hi, Kevin. And so they're killing time because they don't know what to do. So first, the guitarist Joey literally FaceTimes his mom live on stage, and it's like, look, this is the biggest concert we've ever played because it was their biggest concert ever. And then, then the barrier was still not fixed, so they played a song that they hadn't played since like 2016, and people started losing their mind around us, and I was like, even as a super fan, the moment was beyond me. And then eventually Joey, sort of speaking my internal monologue, was like, hey, can we hurry it up? We want to finish our concert, please. And then they sort of like zip-tied it back together, and then did like a very sort of abbreviated end of the show. But still, like, we're like, all right, just mosh responsibly, everybody. It was great. So, banter.
I think on like the other side, it's been really interesting with the Killers show.
Yeah.
Because I went and I immediately, as I do to everything, I consume a piece of media and I immediately go to Tumblr.
Sorry, I just somebody in Twitch chat said, Ben, my husband Nathan and I used to see you at old hardcore shows in Edmonton when you were just a little guy. I definitely snuck into like 18 plus venues when I was 16. Yeah.
That's so cute.
I was just a little guy.
Oh, guy.
But yeah, it makes it really obvious when people have like planned stage bits, because like his like go-to thing at the beginning was like, Toronto, I don't want to make you jealous, but we've been seeing other cities. In his like thick Nevada sleaze.
Yeah.
And at the time I was like, oh my god, he's so funny. Oh my god. And then I went and I saw like 16 different gift sets of him in different like shiny
Same
suits,
thing.
and I'm like, oh my god, he said it to other people.
We're not special.
Yeah. My just real brief before I throw to the next thing. My favorite unplanned bit of stage banter was watching the lead singer of Orgy get into a fight with the stage manager for Filter on their co-headlining tour, and getting into this fight on stage in the middle of the show.
Oh no.
It was amazing.
I can piggyback a concert story. I went to O-Fest in Austin when I was in college. O-Fest was Orgy, Offspring, and Oleander. If you're not 40 years old, it might not be easy to remember Oleander.
Yeah.
There were a lot of movie soundtracks.
Yeah, to put a capper on it.
last
for my
one, and then
question.
let's go.
I'm huge on team banter.
Yeah.
But the one time it was okay, where I was just like, you know what, I'm here just to hear you jam, was I saw Streetlight Manifesto live, and that was just, they just launched into every song, and I was like, do the trumpets, the sax, do they not need a break between things? But no, it was good.